Every evil version of Ben explained. Let's take a look at every evil version of Ben that has appeared in the franchise. From alternate timelines to corrupted aliens, these are the Bens that went bad and caused havoc in the multiverse. Let's get started. The first evil version of Ben is Albedo. Albedo is the former assistant of Azimuth, the creator of the Omnitrix. In an attempt to recreate the Omnitrix, Albedo accidentally turned himself into a clone of Ben Tennyson and became obsessed with stealing the Omnitrix to regain his original form. Albedo has appeared in various seasons of the Ben 10 series and has been involved in crimes such as attempted murder, mass destruction, and theft. Despite his efforts, Albedo has failed in his goals of freeing himself from Ben Tennyson's form and taking revenge on him and Azimuth. Albedo also gained access to the Ultimatrix, a device that allowed him to evolve his aliens into more powerful forms. Albedo was arrogant, ruthless, and cunning, and he often clashed with Ben and his allies.
No! No! Not this again!
You don't think this is Azimuth's doing?
Definitely.
The second character is Bad Ben. Bad Ben is an alternate version of Ben, from a timeline where he never learned to use the Omnitrix responsibly. He bears a strong resemblance to Ben Prime, but with some physical differences such as black hair and mint green eyes. Bad Ben enjoys being bad and evil, taking pleasure in tormenting others. He has a twisted sense of humor and speaks with a higher vocabulary than Ben Prime. In the Omniverse series, Bad Ben joins Eon and Vilgax and other evil Bens to kill No Watch Ben. He first shows up in the episode And Then There Were None, where he attacks No Watch Ben as the alien ghost freak. He also fights in a war between the good and evil Bens at La Soledad. In the end, Bad Ben and the other Bens is wiped out of space-time by the Chronosapien time bomb. Bad Ben possesses fighting skills and has taken self-defense classes. Like his counterparts, he possesses an Omnitrix, allowing him to transform into different alien forms. However, no specific backstory is provided for Bad Ben, and most of his background story remains unknown. Overall, Bad Ben serves as a malevolent and antagonistic counterpart to the heroic Ben Tennyson, adding complexity to the Ben 10 storyline.
You're me. Don't bother stammering in confusion. I know exactly what you're thinking. But you have...
The third character is Mad Ben. Mad Ben is an evil version of Ben Tennyson, from an alternate reality where Bellwood is a post-apocalyptic wasteland. He becomes a ruthless warlord dictator with the help of Maltruant and Vilgax. Mad Ben is bloodthirsty, megalomaniacal, and sadistic. He resembles Ben Prime, but with orange eyes, tanned skin, and a mohawk hairstyle. He wears Mad Max-style clothing and has a spiked Omnitrix called the Power Watch. Mad Ben can transform into various alien forms using his Omnitrix. He appears in the Ben 10 Omniverse series and fights against his good counterparts. Eventually, he is defeated and imprisoned by Mad Rook. Mad Ben's story arc portrays his antagonistic nature and clashes with the heroic versions of Ben Tennyson.
Oi, my alternate dimension counterparts. That's two Bens too many.
Haven't we seen this guy before?
Yeah, and kicked his butt.
The fourth character is Nega Ben. Nega Ben is an alternate and evil version of Ben Tennyson, from an Earth described as resembling hipster parts of Seattle or Portland. He wears a black hoodie, pale green trousers, and black shoes. Nega Ben possesses an emo personality and is characterized by his negativity, gloominess, and disinterest. Despite his apathetic demeanor, he can be vicious and dangerous when provoked. Nega Ben utilizes the Negatrix, a gray-colored version of the Omnitrix. He was recruited by Eon and Vilgax to eliminate No Watch Ben, but was ultimately erased from space-time. Nega Ben's powers and abilities stem from his Omnitrix, which he relies on in combat. He appeared as Gutrot during the fight between the good and evil Bens. Derek J. Wyatt, the series creator, expressed a liking for Nega Ben as one of his favorite alternate versions of Ben.
Lame.
The fifth character is Eon. Eon, who is an interdimensional timeline traveler and one of Ben's adversaries. He is the archenemy of Professor Paradox and an alternate and evil version of Ben, and has the ability to manipulate time and possesses various powers and abilities. He has appeared in different Ben 10 series, including Ben 10, Race Against Time, Ben 10, Ultimate Alien, and Ben 10, Omniverse. Throughout the series, Eon tries to manipulate and control different versions of Ben Tennyson to achieve his goal. However, he is ultimately defeated by Ben and his allies.
I'll finally have the strength to replace this timeline with a new one.
Where I will be the only Ben Tennyson that exists.
The sixth character is Benzaro. Benzaro is an alternate and evil version of Ben Tennyson from an Earth plagued by a zombie outbreak. He wears a purple straitjacket and possesses the Zombitrix, a purple Omnitrix-like device. Benzaro behaves primitively, with limited speech and ape-like movements. He was recruited by Eon and Vilgax to eliminate No Watch Ben, but was eventually erased from spacetime. He can be controlled by a Vladat using corruptorate. Despite being undead, Benzaro relies on his Omnitrix for combat, transforming into zombified versions of alien forms.
Boo!
The seventh character is Evil Ben. Benjamin Ben Kirby Tennyson is an alternate version of Ben Tennyson from an alternate dimension in the reboot continuity. He is characterized by his malicious and arrogant personality, believing that he can accomplish everything alone. After Vilgax murdered his family, Ben sought revenge and defeated Vilgax to prove his independence. This version of Ben is spiteful and desires to make other versions of Ben and their families suffer the same pain he endured. He possesses the Omnitrix, which allows him to transform into various aliens and use their powers. He notably transformed into Four Arms and Alien X. Evil Ben was eventually defeated by Team Tennyson from another dimension and sent to the Null Void, where he had been before. This alternate version of Ben shares similarities with Eon and other comic book villains who hunt and kill parallel universe heroes.
So I proved to them I needed no one.
The eighth and finale evil version of Ben are Eon's Servants. Eon's Servants are loyal minions of Eon, a villain who can manipulate time. They first showed up in the movie Ben 10, Race Against Time. They are actually different versions of Ben from other timelines who lost their powers and became Eon's slaves. They wear suits of armor that are black and silver with helmets that have purple eye shields. Dions Servants have shown up in many parts of the Ben 10 franchise, like the movie Ben 10, Race Against Time, and the episodes Ben 10,000 Returns, Ben Again, and Let's Do the Time War Again. They have different backgrounds and features depending on which version of them appears. They always follow Eon's orders and fight against the Ben 10 heroes.
You've discovered our secret.
You're not destroying Ben Tennysons. You're absorbing them.
I feed on their power and make them my slaves.